If a woman wants your attention, trust me, she's rarely going to say it directly, but she will make sure you feel it. And that's exactly where most men get confused. Because when a woman likes you, she usually doesn't chase in obvious ways. She doesn't always text first. She doesn't always flirt loudly. Sometimes she does something much more powerful. She starts pulling your focus toward her without ever asking for it. And if you miss these signs, you could literally be watching attraction happen right in front of you and still walk away thinking, maybe she was just being nice. No, not always, because women are often subtle, but never random. When she wants your attention, there are patterns, tiny behaviors, repeated signals, little emotional traps that make you notice her, think about her, and slowly start wondering if there's something more. So if you've ever felt like, I think she's trying to get me to notice her, but I'm not sure, then stay with me, because these signs are not only real, they reveal more than most men realize. And the last one, that one gives her away almost every single time. Let's get into it. 1. She keeps placing herself in your world. This is one of the biggest signs, and most men completely overlook it. If a woman is trying to get your attention, she starts showing up where your attention already is. Maybe she suddenly joins conversations you're in. Maybe she sits closer than she needs to. Maybe she randomly appears in places where she knows you'll be. Now, is that always intentional? Not every single time. But when it starts happening repeatedly, that's when you need to pay attention. Because women usually don't move closer to men they feel nothing for. If she keeps finding subtle ways to be around you, what she's often doing is creating opportunities for connection without having to openly admit interest. Most men don't realize this, but attraction often starts with presence. A woman who wants your attention doesn't always ask for it. Sometimes she just makes sure she's hard to ignore. And here's what women actually notice. Whether you notice them back, that part matters more than you think. 2, she changes her energy when you're around. This one is powerful because it's emotional, not just visual. Watch how her vibe shifts when you enter the room. Maybe she becomes more playful. Maybe she gets louder. Maybe she starts laughing more than usual. Or maybe she gets a little nervous and awkward. Both reactions can mean the same thing. A woman trying to get your attention often becomes more aware of herself when you're near. She suddenly cares a little more about how she sounds, how she looks, and how she's coming across. And that shift creates energy. You'll feel it before you fully understand it. Maybe she was calm before you showed up, and then suddenly she's animated. Or maybe she was talking normally, and now she's hyper aware of every word. That change is not random, because when a woman wants a certain man to notice her, her nervous system often gives her away before her words do. And yes, sometimes the strongest sign of confidence is actually hidden nervousness. 3. She does small things to stand out to you. Women who want attention don't always go big. Sometimes they go specific. She might wear something she knows you'll notice. She might bring up a topic you're interested in. She might say something just unusual enough to make you remember her. This is where psychology gets interesting. When a woman wants your attention, she doesn't just want to be seen. She wants to be remembered. That's different. Being seen is easy. Being unforgettable is intentional. So if she's doing little things that seem designed to make an impression on you, that's worth noticing. Maybe she teases you in a way no one else does. Maybe she uses inside jokes quickly. Maybe she makes a bold comment, then watches your reaction. That last part is important. If she says something and then instantly checks whether you notice, she probably wanted you to. And a lot of men miss this because they're waiting for giant obvious signs. But attraction often lives in the details. 4, she finds reasons to interact with you, even when she doesn't need to. This one is so common, and yet men still second guess it. If she keeps creating little excuses to talk to you, that is not meaningless. She asks for your opinion on things she could have figured out herself. She sends you something random that reminded her of you. She starts conversations that technically didn't need to happen. Why? Because interaction is attention. And if she wants your attention, she'll often create low-pressure reasons to keep your connection alive. This is especially true for women who don't want to look too obvious. Instead of saying, I like talking to you, she'll just keep talking to you. Instead of saying, I wanted to text you, she'll send you a meme, ask a small question, or react to something you posted. On the surface, it looks casual, but underneath it, there's intention. A woman who doesn't care usually doesn't keep reopening doors. A woman who wants your attention does. And if she keeps making it easy for you to engage with her, that's a sign she wants you in her mental space. 5, she reacts strongly when other women are around you. Now this one gets very revealing. If a woman is trying to get your attention, she often becomes more alert when your attention goes somewhere else. And no, I don't just mean jealousy in a dramatic way. Sometimes it's much more subtle than that. Maybe she suddenly gets quieter. Maybe she jumps into the conversation more. Maybe she becomes extra playful, extra confident, or weirdly distant. Why does this happen? Because attention is emotional currency. And when a woman wants yours, she notices where it goes. Most men don't realize this, but a woman can be very calm until another woman enters the picture. Then suddenly, her behavior shifts. Not because she's irrational, not because she's possessive, but because attraction makes people aware of competition even when they don't want to admit it. So if she seems extra tuned in when other women are around you, that's not something to ignore. It usually means your attention matters to her more than she's saying out loud. And honestly, that tells you a lot. Mid-video engagement. Quick question for you. Have you ever realized a girl liked you way too late? Like weeks later, months later, maybe even years later? Drop too late in the comments if that's happened to you, because trust me, you are not the only one. And while you're watching, keep paying attention, because the next 2 signs are where women become the most obvious, without actually being obvious. 6, she remembers little things about you that most people forget. This one is dangerously underrated. If she remembers tiny details about you, details you barely remember saying yourself, that is a major sign. Maybe she remembers your favorite food. Maybe she remembers something stressful you mentioned once. Maybe she brings up a story you told weeks ago. Why does that matter? Because attention leaves memory. A woman doesn't usually store emotional details about a man she feels completely neutral about. When she's trying to get your attention, she also tends to study you more than you realize. Not in a creepy way, in a curious way. She wants to understand what makes you laugh, what annoys you, what excites you, what matters to you. Because here's what women actually notice: emotional specifics. And when she remembers yours, it often means you've already become mentally important to her. This is one of the strongest hidden signs of attraction because it shows emotional investment, not just surface level flirting. And emotional investment is where real interest begins. 7. She watches to see how you respond to her. This might be the biggest giveaway of all. A woman trying to get your attention doesn't just do things, she watches what those things do to you. That's the key. She says something playful and then looks at your face. She posts something and wonders if you saw it. She dresses a certain way and checks whether you noticed. She pulls back a little and waits to see if you come closer. This is where her attention toward you becomes impossible to ignore. Because once a woman starts measuring your reactions, it usually means your opinion has become emotionally valuable to her. And that is never casual. Most men don't realize this, but when a woman likes you, she often starts running silent emotional tests. Not because she wants to manipulate you, but because she wants to know, do I affect him? Does he notice me? Am I on his mind too? And when a woman starts caring deeply about how you respond to her presence, her words, her energy, or even her silence, that's not random interest. That's emotional focus. And emotional focus is usually where attraction becomes real. So if she keeps showing up around you, if her energy changes when you're near, if she finds little ways to stand out, if she keeps creating reasons to interact, if she reacts when your attention shifts, if she remembers the details, and if she watches your response more than she admits, then there's a very good chance she is trying to get your attention. Not every woman will say it directly, but women reveal interest in patterns long before they reveal it in words. And once you learn to see those patterns, dating becomes a whole lot clearer. Because the truth is, attraction is rarely invisible. Most men just don't know what they're looking at. So the next time a woman keeps crossing your path, keeps drawing your focus, and keeps leaving you wondering, don't just ask, is she being nice? Ask yourself the better question. Why does she keep making sure I notice her? That's where the real answer usually begins. If you enjoyed this and want more real female psychology, dating truth, and signs women give that most men completely miss, make sure you subscribe right now, because the next video might explain something you've been confused about for years. And trust me, there are signs women give before they fall for you, and most men miss those too.